Joining us on the source right now, Brent Coulombe and Ryan Harrison from the Welland Jackfish. Guys, when you brought baseball, professional baseball, back to the Niagara area last year, you could not have anticipated what was going to happen this year. How does a small organization like yours deal with this situation as your season should be starting this coming month?
Well, Mike, for us, it's all about the show must go on. We understand that we can't bring fans in here, but how do we bring us to the fans? So that's why we're opening up our very first and hopefully only virtual home opener this upcoming Saturday, starting at noon. We got lots of stuff going on, a lot of fun activities for the fans.
How are you going to have a home opener without baseball being played in the park?
So what we're doing is we're having it live on our Facebook and YouTube pages. You can find those easily off our website. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be broadcasting our 2019 home opener, which many of our fans will remember, of a 9-1 butt kicking of the London Majors. And we're going to be having tons of stuff go on like you regularly see during any one of our actually live in-person games. T-shirt toss, 50-50, Dino Dash, all kinds of giveaways all game long. We got stuff about how to cook the perfect hot dog to go along with our, if people have seen on our social media, we were selling ballpark at home packages, which we actually sold out real quick.
Now, going back to that home opener, that was your very first home opener. So I imagine that there was a lot of excitement in the stands during that particular game.
Yeah, it was incredible. We had a lineup out the door, which we weren't expecting, and the community really rallied behind us, and it was quite a eventful and entertaining day. And to come back with a victory in our first game here ever in Welland was pretty incredible.
Beyond this virtual home opener, what are the plans for the rest of the season as things are sort of hanging up in the air?
The goal right now is July 4th would be our home opener. We'd have 5 teams as 3 of our partners decided they couldn't make it work, which we understand. It's hard times. We're hoping for July 4th to make it happen.
There's some positive signs in the sports world. Last week it was announced that some of the teams could get back together with their training facilities. So I understand the Raptors were opening up their training facility in the Toronto area. So what is the status with some of the Jackfish and gathering some of those players either together or apart physically, to get ready for this season that's coming?
So right now we don't have a clear-cut plan exactly what we're going to be doing with our players. They're kind of doing their stuff at home like anybody else is. But once we get closer to July and there's light at the end of the tunnel that we could hit the field, we'll most likely be bringing our guys in to do some indoor sessions, small indoor sessions, and things like that.
And Brent and Ryan, you both talked about the stuff that goes on in between innings and the excitement in the stands, and that's a big part of watching any major sporting event. The crowd, if I think of NFL football, the Seattle Seahawks are known for having the 12th man, that noisy stadium, and that factor might not be there when the NFL season opens.
Yeah, I think it's all about adapting, especially us here. You look what we did. We can't have a regular home opener. So what are we going to do? We're going to adapt. We're going to bring virtual home opener to our fans in their homes. We're going to bring them the whole ballpark experience by selling these packs. They can have all the treats you'd have at a regular game. So I think you're going to see happening, especially if this pushes out more and more to the point where they can't have fans for a long period of time, they'll start to adapt and change how they're doing things. And it'll be weird for a while, but the more and more it goes on, the more normal it'll be.
And what sets the Jackfish apart from, you mentioned 3 franchises have already declared that they won't be able to play in the IBL this year. Why are you strong enough to weather this storm?
So the difference between us is we start really, really early. So I think when our season ended in August, we probably took 2 weeks off, and then we're right back in the saddle planning for our next season. So we're a full-fledged, year-round business. We got people in the office at all times working on sponsorship and ticket sales, stuff like that. So we already have a really good base. And we already have a lot of players to fill our roster that we can bring in that is not going to be an issue. So I think that's where we probably were ahead of the game from some teams because there are other teams that like to get their more, let's say, off-field business stuff done a little bit closer than the season than what we would like.
And have you also had great support from the local business community?
Yes. Yeah, it was really, really good last year. I did have quite a few come back, but obviously with COVID-19, some of those are not going to be able to sponsor us this year. or maybe even next year. And we're fine with that. We're going to be okay no matter what. Actually, our budget, we plan as sponsorship dollars to come in as a extra. So we're well financed, and we'll be fine for years to come.
It's great to hear all of that positive talk. Brent, Ryan, thanks for joining us today. And that home opener, 11 o'clock this Saturday, May 16th.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.